For Pendulum, this one is actually one of my personal favorites off of the EP, and it's lyrically about feminism and one of my personal experiences being a feminist in a patriarchal society and that current situation that I was in at that time. The pendulum imagery felt really appropriate to describe that as the kind of patriarchal dominance just is constant and never-ending, and really just wanting to create that kind of feel even musically with my guitar and Eric's keys kind of going back and forth, really emphasizing the feel of a pendulum swing.
Yeah, Pendulum I think is the song that probably came together the quickest for us. I sort of came just with the 4 chords, little keys idea, and as we started playing it together, like it just felt really good to sort of dig in as we kept playing together. And I think the chords just have this kind of cyclical nature about them where it just continues to feel good to play them. And I think that's sort of what turned it into maybe the more like rock song on the album, where we kind of just dig in a little bit harder. Natalie's got her guitar solo, and it was really fun to put together.
Drum parts that I tracked separately. There was the verses and the instrumental kind of thing, and then the chorus, bridge, and on. The snare drums in the verses were a lot more punchy. They were more dead, muffled. And the snare drum in the chorus and the bridge, it was more open. I took out some of the muffling. But my favorite part about this song, or the drum part, is the fact that I used these really crappy Planet Z hi-hats. They were like 13-inch hi-hats that belong in the garbage. Yeah, before going to the garbage, I used it to record the song, and I think it's perfect for what we were trying to give in terms of tone, like just some weird, spacey, ethereal hi-hats. I'm using so many adjectives that don't make sense. It makes sense to me, but it probably doesn't make sense to anybody else. But yeah, I think it fit perfectly. Don't know where it is. It's probably in the trash, or maybe it's back at Natalie's place. Not sure. But a lot of the drum parts that I wanted to do for this group of songs was not just like, hey, look at me, like I'm playing drums, but more like, let's just add some noise underneath what's happening at the top, which is usually the melody, or Natalie's vocal parts, or some cool like keyboard line or Rhodes line that Eric is doing. So yeah, I wanted a lot of things to be subdued, so I filtered it out. But yeah, I think it kind of pushes it, but not being super obvious. In terms of the mix for Pendulum, I think this was the first time I utilized my Roland DC-20. It's a Bucket Brigade device delay. I used it for a slapback on Natalie's vocals, and I think it just adds subtle like darkness, because it's not like a super transparent, super clear delay. It definitely like covers things up a bit, but adds a little bit of flavor and darkness to it. And I think Pendulum was a good part. It was a good choice for that delay. This song was tough with bass, because we tried tracking the bass guitar part, like I think 3 to 4 different times, and it was frustrating because there was a lot of intonation issues, and he ended up playing the bass part on a Juno, and I actually think it sounds better. It gives kind of like a droney foundation with a little bit of grit, and that Juno definitely goes super low.